Hey, welcome back. As you can see, a new location. I'm trying out different scenarios where I can, get a better a studio kind of a place where I can, focus on my work. As you can see, it's still not done. The other things are scattered all over the place. I do apologize for that. All right, the movie that I'm going to talk about today, it's called The Electric State. Now, there has been some rumors about this movie going on that and it actually did happen, that it couldn't cross box office the way it intended to. But in my opinion, after because I don't really rely on IMDb rating that much after what I've been through and what I've seen according to the ratings. Now, talking about this movie, if you come to it, I wanted to watch it myself. I wasn't too much of a fan of these animation and VFX kind of movies, and apart from some like Avengers and DC Comics when they come up with these movies, but this was something different and I wanted to watch. So, in my opinion, it turned out to be better than what I expected it to be. Now, the main cast in this movie that I want to point out is number one, Miley Bobby Brown, who plays the role of a teenager who has a brother, and in this movie, the brother disappears over the period of time, and he's been kept captive by some tech genius who in the futuristic world is changing the world and bringing out new robots and getting rid of the old ones, and this is something like that. And the second actor that I want to talk about in this movie is Chris Pratt. Now, first let's talk about the VFX of this movie. In my opinion, I had these rumors that the VFX were not as good as they were supposed to be, but as compared to a lot of other movies, which, with all due respect, as compared to Marvel movies, the later on movies that have recently come out, as compared to their VFX, the VFX of this movie is far, far better than those movies. Well, I watched this movie for one and only one reason, and that was one actor, that is Chris Pratt. Now, in my opinion, Chris Pratt, I don't know whether you guys agree or disagree. Like I said, everybody's got their own views.
Okay.
In my opinion, Chris Pratt is a far better actor than a lot of other mature actors that have been in this industry for the past couple of years. Now, he is the kind of actor that I would say who really puts a lot of hard work in whatever character he plays. In my opinion, if he would have gotten, a psychopathic role like American Psycho, which was in that movie, the actor who played Christian Bale, if he would have given that role, I think he would have done a brilliant job. But those times he wasn't there. So there are a lot of movies out there of Chris Pratt, which, in my opinion, have done brilliantly in the box office, and it was all because of Chris Pratt. Now, moving forward and talking about Chris Pratt, if you look at his movies, on top of my head, I would say if you look at his movies such as Jurassic World, so that was brilliantly what you call directed and brilliantly played. Chris Pratt played a brilliant role in it. After that, when he played the character in Guardians of the Galaxy, all the emotions that he had to portray, whether it was serious or emotional or comic roles, he was really, really good in that. Uh, Another very good movie of his, in which he wasn't a main role but a side role, that was this movie called Magnificent Seven. So, in all these movies, all the characters that he has played and all the emotions that he wanted to display, they were displayed beautifully.
Okay.
So, as far as Chris Pratt is concerned, he never, ever, at least never disappoints me. So, but the rumors have been that he did not do very well in that movie, which I'm against. All right. Because in this movie, as always, he has played a very brilliant role, and the comic role that he has done was really, really hilarious, as always. That he has always been. Coming to the point of playing comic roles, I think, with all due respect, again, no hard feeling, as compared to Ryan Reynolds, I think Chris Pratt plays far better comic roles than Ryan Reynolds. Even though Ryan Reynolds does a brilliant job, he does good, he's very fluent, he just knows how to do it, but sometimes I feel like he's overdoing it. However, Chris Pratt is the kind of an actor who's not a comedian in by any chance, but when he plays the comic role, he does a brilliant job because he knows how to act. For example, his role in this.
No, you're not. You will not be taking our pod today, sir.
And this.
And you'll be murdered by the world's greatest lover.
And of course, this.
Mr. Mizrani wanted me to consult with you.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow?
It's not funny.
Little funny.
Moving forward, if we talk about the director of this movie, you must have heard the name, of course, it's Russo Brothers. Under the belt of Russo Brothers, some good names of the movies that they have directed are Extraction 1 and 2, in which Chris Hemsworth was the lead character, and number 2 was The Gray Man. Now, if we look at Extraction 1 and 2, now if you look at the way the directors have come up with the idea of directing the action sequence, because of course it was an action movie, it was done brilliantly. It was different. Now, if you see this scene over here, you will see how the directors have come to get involved into the whole sequence and picturize the whole scene, making it like almost a first-person shooter kind of a movie, or a third-person shooter. It felt like that, like I was, or the viewer who was watching this movie was there. Moving on to their other movies, The Gray Man. Now, in my opinion, The Gray Man was brilliantly produced and directed movie. The story was nice. Again, an action sequence movie with a bit of a humor in it.
You must be Lloyd. What gave it away? The trash stash. It leans Lloyd.
In this movie, the only reason that I was a bit disappointed because they selected the actor who I actually don't like that much, because in my opinion he doesn't show any, he actually doesn't know, maybe it's just him, the way he does it and people like him, but he doesn't actually know how to express himself in that character. The actor that I'm talking about is, of course, Ryan Gosling. Now, Ryan Gosling is an actor whose movie that I saw, I don't know whether you guys have heard the name before, but he played a character in a movie that was called A Place Beyond the Pines. That was a brilliantly produced movie. But then again, Ryan Gosling is the kind of actor who, in my opinion, doesn't do very well. They gave him the lead role, okay. But what Russo Brothers did, they also selected Chris Evans, who, in my opinion, is another brilliant actor who doesn't get any good roles. But Chris Evans, in my opinion, they gave him a negative role with a little bit of comedy and humor in it, and he did a brilliant job. So these two movies, in my opinion, of Russo Brothers are top of the line. The Electric State hasn't done in the box office that well, but in my opinion, it is still up to the mark. Come on, guys, give it a better rating, yaar. I mean, this is one of those movies which I personally think a very entertaining movie. It's for all ages, okay. The runtime of this movie is 2 hours 8 minutes, which is justifiable because they wanted to, the whole story that they had to take, they couldn't cut it short because it wouldn't have been feasible. So I think 2 hours is good enough for this movie. But the rating of this movie, come on, guys, in my opinion, I think you should have given it better. So let's go ahead and keep punching it, and let's see if we can bring it a bit, and we can increase the rating of this movie, because I think Chris Pratt has done a brilliant job. As far as Millie Bobby Brown is concerned, she looks a bit mature as far as the character of a teenager is concerned, but she did well. She did very, very well. However, the VFX of this movies are outstanding. They're mind-blowing. You won't recognize, a difference difference between a robot and you wouldn't say that this is VFX because it's done very well. It's been blended into the movie the way it should have been and done a brilliant job. So overall, guys, I think, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys will agree. It's just that I wanted to talk about this movie because I liked it very much and I wanted to share it with you guys, my review and everything. Overall, this movie is funny, it's comedy, it's entertaining, there's action in it, adventure, it's a family movie, family drama, everything is in there. I mean, you won't say that it's not to be watched with children or anything, because I couldn't come across, unless I was asleep or something, but I didn't come across any scene where I would say, no, this movie is not for children. Brilliantly played. Chris Pratt, as usual, brilliant humor, comic role. He's done a brilliant job. Millie Bobby Brown, she did a very good job. Apart from that, the VFX is good. Russo Brothers, hats off to you guys for producing and directing this movie. And in my opinion, you guys should have done better in the box office, but I don't know what happened and why people didn't like it. But in my opinion, you guys did a better job. Thank you for that. So anyway, guys, I hope you would agree, or if you don't agree, tell me what your views are in the comments below, and we'll talk about that later on as well. So I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys inshallah in my next video. You guys take care and see ya. Ciao.